No. You know what's natural is me just establishing for the audience that there's gonna be a cut later in this episode because and he's back with the ice. There's gonna be a chicken parm sub and a small cheese pizza on the way for the CEO.
Listen, I'm hungry, or as you can probably feel, it's a little darker. We're doing a little late night pod, and it was like, do I want to go out and get something after? And my options are more limited because the hours of service closures, or do I just want to call it in? People are doing work while we're working, and we'll deal with a little break. So that's what I did. I'm so hungry, but
sir,
gotta earn it.
Sir, why are you hungry? Are you fresh off some exercise?
Yeah, it's just been a long day, a lot of driving, and just had a game, and I haven't eaten for a while, so I'm ready to grub. I'm about to grub. It's good to be here, though. There's nowhere I'd rather be right now recording this late than right here. You look exhausted.
I'm fine.
But you're battling.
I'm not battling. I'm dialed in. Despite the fatigue, despite the circadian rhythm and routine trying to overcome me.
Okay, but what's the best ability one can have?
Sir, it's adaptability.
Right? And I'm impressed by your adaptability because I know you are great at the word no.
Mm.
The ability to say no is something you are excellent at, but we're real busy with our own lives, and we're trying to find the right times to record. This was one of them. And no, the young man did not say no. He said, I'll adapt. So I appreciate that, Ro.
You know, I'm good at no because I'm better at yes with regard to winning. Okay.
It's a bar.
It's a bar. And you tried to say I was tired, and that's 1-0 on the count, bar-wise.
All right. You know what I think's funny that we should just keep running with is I think we should... The fact that you use so many metaphors, and then I do too at times, I think it's just a bit now. Like we should just sometimes just per pod, there needs to be a preposterous one. I was thinking today while I was at the beach, you could probably tell. A little sun-kissed, how you doing? A little trim, how you doing? I had one today that's going to come to me on this pod, but it was the most ridiculous thing. I think it would be pretty funny. So you just said a 1-0 bar count scoreboard. I'm waiting for the first metaphor.
Okay. Yeah.
But the shirt looks nice.
Oh, I appreciate
yours looks
that.
Nice, and then probably people are asking about mine. Where can you get this? Morethandifferent.com. Seafoam. How often are you going to find a seafoam colored shirt? Screams summer. These are available still in abundance. They've done well thus far. I expect them to sell out at our event for what's left. But they are a awesome garment. Morethandifferent.com. Seafoam, periwinkle, sapphire, and navy blue. It's an unbelievable collection. You haven't even seen the back of the shirt. But I got to stretch anyway. So that should about do it, but that's my pitch. 1-0 on pitches.
I mean, you're always going to take home the pitch game. Sir, what is that event? Remind them.
That event is the 3rd annual More Than Different Summer Basketball Tournament, August 17th at Duggar Park. Sponsors are locked in. We might as well shout out our sponsors because of their willingness to want to support this event, what it's going toward, which is raising money for memberships for Boys and Girls Club, kids at Arlington Boys and Girls Club, Medford YMCA, and the Watertown Boys and Girls Club, because the Summer League Colin and I are in is connected with the Watertown Boys and Girls Club. They are helping work with us to get some college refs. And so in return, we said we'd want to help out them. All communities matter. So that's going to be special. Elite competition. I keep hearing more and more speculation about certain players coming. I believe it when I see it, but I know this. The The biggest question is who's coming in second, because my team is going to win this year. That I'd bet money on.
That is going to be 2 crownings because of year 1. The rain out left us seatless on the throne.
And then C-Mac just...
Right, C-Mac. And so that'll be 2 crownings, actually, to the event coordinators.
Would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
C-Mac legitimately was the best player at the tournament last year. Like, that was crazy. Because it just shows how experience and, like, honestly, what I think about, because I play with my brother a lot, and this might take us into a path I'm interested. You're going to be intrigued by this, but it's funny how when you stop playing. Like, I've had this moment where I'm going to be a junior in college, so I've gone through the growing pains of, oh shit, this is college basketball is different, more physical. Now I'm entering this part of like, no, I'm going to be the imposer. Like, I've seen it all. I know what to expect. I know the little tricks. So I was like, is this going to be the best version of me ever? Like, pending that I don't have a career after college. Mm-hmm. And I said that to someone, or my dad, and he shut that. He was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, stop thinking that way, 1. And then 2, he was like, you get so much better after college if you want. And it's funny because I think about Colin, and like, he doesn't work out nearly as much. Like, he's not going in the gym and getting shots up or doing 1 dribble pull-ups.
Yeah.
But I play with him, and I'm like, dude, he's so nasty. And you know what it is? It's trusting the work you put in for years and years. All those reps pay off. And then it's the freed up mind.
Yeah, right.
It's the freed up mind.
Let those instincts run.
Because you're not playing for, like, you're not like, shit, if I'm playing bad now, what about my season? So when he's out playing these college guys at our tournament last year, and he's just cooking them, and I'm like, dude, when I play with Colin, I'm like, I'm as good as him. I might be better. Like, just going hooping. And then at an event like that, I'm like, dude, I could not have done what he did.
Yeah.
And that's just because I really believe it's like he just unlocked mentally. And that just it just shows the power of the mind and confidence. So, that being said, we're going to take him off the throne. August 17th, Duggar Park, the place to be. Merchandise, food stands, sponsors I didn't get to mention. Gold Standard Hoops, the premier company for basketball training, group workouts, camps, and all things more hoop, because, you know, the motto is more work, please. So check out goldstandardhoops.com if you want to get better at the game of basketball. All ages, all levels. We got great coaches, one of which you're looking at. Brunt Workwear, another sponsor. Monotony Grill, the premier burger in Arlington. Go down to Monotony Grill and get yourself one and let me know. Tell them Brendan McNamara sent you. And the Collective, that is the Collective Society. That's a basketball streetwear company. They are supporting us, putting a bunch of money toward the Boys and Girls Club Fund. So shout out to our sponsor for the event. Long-winded, but August 17th. It's in their head now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think you're spot on with the, reps coming back with the lack of structure maybe in the mind. And there's just no...
Let's go down this path.
There's no desire to grip the reins. You kind of want to see where the horse is going after a long time.
There he goes.
There we go.
There he goes.
I was waiting.
There, got 10 minutes in. No, it's something I think about a lot, because it's like, how can you, and we've talked about this a lot, but I don't know if we've articulated in this kind of context of like, how can you simulate, I mean, we have, but it is interesting in the context of this concept of there's not that greater purpose per se, other than the simple joy of doing it. Because my brother, like all these people in the league we play in, it's a lot of former college guys, former pro guys even too. And it's like they're still just really good. And that's because they maybe they play a lot, not just once a week. Like, they love it. But it's also, they're not doing all the extra work. It's just, they just love hooping.
Right.
And so as a result, there's not that added pressure. And it's one of those things that inevitably when you're done playing, and even like I look back on my AAU time, because I feel in a more freed up state of mind, not worried about perception of what I think I look like or can do or whatever. I look back like, fuck, dude, if I was this way then, I could have been even better. And college coaches would have been like, oh, we want him at even a higher level. You always say that in hindsight. But then you wish you could channel it all when there is that added pressure per se, or there is a greater purpose. I need to be the best for my team. There's recognition in this shit matters, etc.
Yeah. One thing came to mind that I'll circle around to after saying it is true not only in hoop, but in anything that you have a passion, a fervor for, where that simplification, that comes from just transcending any type of goal, bar you have to reach, level to which you need to compete to win or something like that, or everything just falls away and you just play it for it. It's like there is no way to succeed that you can predict before. You're just present and you're seeing it unfold. You know what I mean? And you're just exploring the space in a new way, even though it's like, an old way because you've been there over and over and the reps are there. It's just doing it in a slightly new, unique, and still equally as joyous, fashion.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, as you were saying that, I'm thinking of other ways this manifests itself. Not just, we use basketball a lot because we relate to it, and I think a lot of
it's been our teacher.
It's been our teacher. We said,
our teacher.
Yeah, we talked about this episode. Was that 3?
I think so.
I think it was 3. Check that. That was arguably our best. So go. They keep getting better.
Yeah.
You gotta go back and listen. You'll see the progression. But that was a special one. But I think another way this manifests itself is in relationships you have with people, and this is that sense of, can you feel and be your authentic self around the people that you're surrounding yourself with?
Yeah. And
it's a weird thing. I always think about, I'll use this as an example because I think people will relate to this too. Think about like a relationship. You say you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. When you're in the friendship phase, if this is the trajectory of how it plays out, and you're getting to know each other with no judgment, there's no sense of like, you're not even considering this other factor of what it could become. You're just being yourself because you're like, oh, they're a friend, and I'm not second guessing my instincts. Yeah. And those are the people you want to be around, where you can literally just be yourself, whether it's your sense of humor, things you'd say naturally, how you'd act, how you'd your comfort level. But then if you get in the relationship, naturally some of that starts to slip a little, or it can. You don't want it to, but it does. Because now there is this level of like, okay, there's something to lose here. Yeah. Just like in a game, in a season, there's something to lose. Like, realistically, you're playing in a men's league and it's competitive, but if you lose a men's league game, you'll just tell yourself like, dude, I got to go to my job tomorrow. It's bigger things, bigger fish to fry. But then sometimes you get in certain relationships and you lose track of that just instinctual being of yourself and being authentic. And that's the shittiest feeling, because then you're second guessing your instincts, and you feel a need to like impress or be a certain way or shift into a mode. It's whether it's friendships or maybe relationships, but I know that's happened to me before, and the goal is to be around people that empower you to be your most authentic self and don't make you second guess your instincts.
Yeah. I think importantly though, from the friendship perspective, you have to bring out of yourself that ability to just be and be present, because there's two different ways which you walk away from a social gathering, setting, whatever. When you're being you and you can express yourself and be authentic, versus when you're not present in your own head, thinking about how people want to see you and what type of, just vibe, energy, type of conversation you give off. And like with the latter, it seems like you leave, maybe you get in the whip, or you finally get home, you get in bed and you just,
yeah.
Instead of just like smiling the whole ride home as the music is fitting the mood of being charged by just 2 hours, 3, 5, 7 hours straight presence, spontaneity, just authentic interaction, and just maybe we might go with basking in that social sunlight.
Yeah, the really is the best feeling to just be yourself.
Yeah.
Because, and we talked about this, and this is something that is definitely shamed, or not, maybe, yeah, shamed, but it is a good skill to have, which is the ability to like code switch.
Yeah, right.
It is like it's an important social skill.
Yeah, it is.
That obviously, it sucks that people have to do it sometimes, and for certain types of people in certain environments, that's harder for sure. And I have a lot of empathy for those people who feel like they have to, but the ability to do it is very important to like navigating certain social settings. That being said, having to like shift or become a certain persona around certain people because they don't understand or maybe appreciate the true you sucks. Like there's times where I'll clearly feel, not nearly anymore, but those early years when we're introducing MTD and it's like, yeah, this is my small little, like I felt very, I didn't feel a lot of confidence to certain people and being like, yeah, I have a business. This is what it's called. And then explaining what it's about. I also wasn't that good at it, but I used to like almost cringe and be like, I don't really know if I want them to know. It's like, dude, that's me. Yeah. This is a big part of who I am. If I got to hide this from you, or like, I don't have pride. If you ask like what I do or something, or what's MTD, and I'm kind of like, yeah, it's just this little, no.
Yeah.
Feel a sense of pride, because if they don't appreciate that, then they're not going to like me.
It's interesting because this episode's topic is unfolding as a topic that I most likely was going to talk about in an upcoming episode. It was something that I was thinking about, but like, I think with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're burning a timeout. We got to get a delivery break.
Folks.
Chicken parm sub, small cheese pizza.
We're back. That pizza and chicken parm looks outstanding, but I'm going to earn it. We got another good 20 minutes to give people.
Earn it?
I got to earn it.
Sure. You can use some of that ice water to hold you over, to stave it off. But what I was going to say before the delivery was inbound was, with that example, in those first few years, like you said, you were young. You were still putting in some of the foundational work and whatnot. So you didn't completely know who you were. And you also didn't understand and have a clear way of articulating to yourself how MTD fit into who you were, how you related to it, how it was attached to your life in a fundamental way like it is now. And
well said.
Something that we both saw literally, like with each other, but also in our own experiences outside of that, was that process of first self-discovery and then learning to flex and train that muscle of authentic expression. And I've been thinking about recently, like, how how much of a blessing and privilege it is to be able to comfortably double down on something that you say, a stance you take, like a way you speak or express yourself in a situation when you're trying to get ostracized for it, doubling down on that, sitting firm in it, and just feeling that respect that you have for yourself and just that attachment for the way that you are and your uniqueness. That's so fucking liberating.
It is.
You know what
And
I mean?
that's rooted in letting your guard down of trying to be perfect.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And instead
1000%.
committing to being authentic, because the goal is to be authentic, not perfect. We still have shirts.
That's savvy. That's
still
savvy.
we still have shirts
Pretty
on morethandifferent.com, authentic, not perfect t-shirts right here. They're real nice, kind of like a workout texture. They're special. Ro has one. He could attest. But that
summer lightness to the fabric. Yeah.
But that message it means something, and that's why we put it on a shirt. That's why I wrote a blog about it. That's why I recorded an episode. That's why it's resurfacing itself, because you're exactly right. That you, when you let go of what other people think so much, then you're at your best. You just don't question yourself, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter,
they don't mind.
They don't mind.
Yeah.
They don't judge you.
And I feel like another thing, though, is especially in the younger years when you have done that self-discovery and you're learning how to authentically express yourself, it is still important to have people you trust around you to hold you accountable.
Absolutely.
And be able to put a mirror up to you so that you don't get lost in the sauce. But yeah, like for me, I don't even know how to explain it, but when I listen to the episodes back and I'm editing them, and like you'll give an example or I'll give an example, I instantly know that it's like I just see the experience being expressed, and it's like it's not just you and I, right? It's a pod. And despite that, the example is so real and tangible because we talk about the things outside of the app. It's like, I don't know, it just strikes me, and it's like you just don't get this in a lot of big brands or small brands. They're trying to mirror things, but be something that they're not.
I agree.
And, you know, we really, to be honest, we're just doing this. It's fun. We're trying to expand the brand, but it's like it's an is what it is thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And
obviously there's goals of growth, but like just even if we fail and don't blow off it or don't see the, you know, growth goals that we want, we can stand by the fact that this is our shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's eases me enough than any type of external validation, numbers, whatever.
I love that. I agree. That there's a sense of peace in knowing this is like real. And I agree. Yeah. And Colin and I, we have More Than Different podcasts, which has always wavered in consistency, though we've had some awesome episodes over the years, and that was that got me into podcasting, was us starting that. So, but the amount of times him and I have recorded an episode, and we've either we're like, that sucked, like, we're not posting that, or we'll be mid-episode and be like, dude, this is just terrible. Like it's we've struggled at times and we've figured it out, but we also just haven't got the reps and never committed a consistency of it. Did not simulate just two brothers talking. Like it very much was, or is, it's felt like you're talking to an audience. This is legitimately how you and I would talk.
Yeah.
Without a mic and audio, and that's why us starting a pod felt like it made sense, and you know, we've committed to it. So I agree. I feel knowing this is really real. This is not rooted in let's try to say the shit that'll really burst through the scene, or it's like, no, that these conversations are edifying for myself. When I listen back, I'm like, whoa, some of the things you said resonate. Some of the things I said, I was like, wow, okay, I got to keep living by this if I'm going to say it, because I clearly was in a thoughtful mode, just like when we have talks. So It's rare. It's rare. We got a good thing here, Ro.
I agree.
That being said, I hope more and more people see it and feel it and feel a part of the community, because Ro and I are talking, but we're just trying to basically figure shit out through a podcast and allowing others to maybe figure some shit out with us.
Yeah. As you were spieling, my mind was going to the idea of people who surround you that also have that authentic expression, or at least, have a tendency to go into that space where they can be vulnerable and make jokes without judgment, or just mess around, say dumb stuff with the goal of putting a smile on your face, like a lot of my coworkers do. Just we'll say valueless interactions and back and forths other than the smiles, the laughs, the lightening of the shift. And it's like, that's why we always press so much about that social circle and those people that surround you, because the wrong crew can detract, the right crew multiplies. And when it's really just it's an is what it is thing when you have those people around you where you're all feeding off each other's authenticity, and that real bond is felt, rather than some type of like performative social hanging out just because that's like the thing that you do, or you're trying to satiate your need for interaction or something. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
it gets exhausting quick.
Yeah.
It really does. So,
and again, like I mentioned earlier, you get home and and it's just like you're expending energy trying to, reach some like arbitrary success, even though it's just not how you go about it.
Yeah, no, you feel you got to shift into a mode.
Yeah,
and everyone has to have modes they can enter.
Yeah.
Talked about it, whether it's like a level of focus or channel motivation, whatever the case. But like, just living should be effortless, because it's molded by years and years of experiences and values that drive who you are. And then you lean on those, and that creates your instincts, and then that is your authenticity.
Yeah.
And once you get to that point, you don't second guess it. But what we say, be authentic. Obviously, that doesn't mean, finding what your authenticity is molded by failure, lessons you learn, things you realize you like, things you realize you don't like.
Yeah, that.
Your sense of humor, all that stuff. But, authenticity is, I guess, it's not measured as just because you're authentic doesn't mean you're being a good person per se.
Yeah, right.
So you need to obviously measure what your authenticity looks like. But it's the best way to live when your values drive your instincts, which drive.
Yeah. That last one, or those last couple examples of, being free and kind of overall just doing what you like, brought to mind this concept that we've kind of been dancing around, talking around, and alluded to this where you can kind of equate authenticity to lightness, where you're kind of being like water and you're flowing. And I feel like the key to that, where you talked about, having those things that you enjoy doing, staying in that type of groove, is actually putting in the work to find out, and answer the question, who am I? And
Bingo.
so when you have a bunch of things that are back to back to back to back to back in days, and then you stack days, and all those things that you like that I just listed are things that you like and have a passion for and enjoy doing, you stack those days together, your routine is enjoyable, your lifestyle is catered to who you really are, and it is authentic. And so your whole lifestyle is light, because it feels fun, it feels recharging, it feels challenging in a good way.
Yeah.
And the victories that you succeed in are in things you love doing, and winning in those things feels great. Losing in those things, you can train.
Feels worth it.
It feels worth it. and it teaches you things, and it makes those successes sweeter.
Well said. Truly.
Appreciate that.
I think
sir.
we're like, even this is something I've never really pulled out of what being authentic is really means and entails, but that's exactly what it is. It's figuring out who you are,
Right.
which is a whole process in itself that's
Yeah.
never ending, because we're never arriving, we're always becoming. So what the true you is and how that's expressed and shown to yourself and to others can be ever changing, but that is its own process. And once you find who that is, it becomes more clear how you want to carry yourself in your life and what people empower that. That's what it's about. And who celebrates it, celebrates your authenticity, and who continues to push you to elevate.
Yeah, what comes to mind for me is, like I said, in that circle of people who multiply each other's freedom, lightness, authenticity, hopefully comes an alignment of values and goals for the bigger picture. And, that journey of authentically trying to, I guess for us, change the world to make it a better place and just warmer, provisions for people in need, more loving, et cetera, et cetera. Those goals hopefully align. And I feel like, sir, honestly, I've lost my train of thought, sir.
It's fine. I'll help you out.
I think that fatigue has gotten to me.
It's fine. It happens, bro. It happens.
Cold stretch.
No, I think we pulled a lot out of this, and we might be beating it with a dead horse. So that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's challenging, can be uncomfortable to be unapologetically yourself.
Yeah.
Because that can come at times with people disagreeing with you, people misunderstanding you, people giving you shit or judging you. And so some of it, you see, that's just what comes with it. And it's why they're like, again, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. And like you said too, though, is having people around you that will keep it real with you, and then will tell you when, hey, you might, maybe the way you're acting isn't how you should be sometimes.
I would rephrase that and say it as, they put a mirror up to you to show you how you've been acting, so that if you've missed it, they provide that catalyst for you to realize you haven't been acting how you wish to be, not how they think you should be, or what the paradigm, because that doesn't exist and it's arbitrary, says you should be. It's like, it's a caring, compassionate, hey, I've noticed these things in you recently. I know who you are because we have a bond and whatnot. I'm just giving you this information for you to do with it what you think is solid, what you should change, what you should keep, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Being authentic doesn't justify bullshit behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, but if you can figure out who you are, go on that journey of continuing to look for more in yourself, it allows you to see more in others. And so how you interact with people changes, and how you interact with yourself shifts too, and your knowledge of self grows, and your actions of who you are and how you carry yourself become way more clear. That's what it is, bro. Being authentic, not perfect. Let that guard down. Stop trying to be perfect. People judge and talk and hate. We all do it. I judged several people today.
Yeah, definitely let that guard down, especially in that early process of discovering who you are, because what what does it do? And also, how healthy is it to not appreciate what you are realizing you're becoming? Let your guard down because you don't have any clue who you are, what you like, what really strikes you, what inspires you. And so, in very Buddhist, but also real, tangible word choice, like you are watching what is unfolding as far as your discovery process and who you are. And so the resistance of, taking new paths or being spontaneous, like you're missing out on capitalizing on opportunities that could tell you who you are and that will be with you forever. And I think, it just sets a tone overall of just maybe like a repression. And like, I don't like that. Like if I were in that state, that'd be unsettling to me. You know what I mean? Like I said, like the only place, because it's been so long that I've been me and just trying to, flow, like that's the only place I'm comfortable in. Something is definitely wrong if I feel myself closing myself off. You know what I mean?
I do. So absolutely do know what you mean.
It's always the present, and I think that guard needs to kind of be held off and down instead of kind of pushing it and expecting it to stay over there. It's like you're always being you. Like you said, you're always finding out what's going to arise in each moment, in each conversation, expression, etc., performance. So,
yeah, the journey of finding ourselves it never ends.
Yeah,
and that should be embraced. But be who you are, because the minute you let go of what others think of you, and it helps you find who really is important in your life, and it also will allow you to just find so much more joy in the things you're doing and not worrying about external factors, because probably some haters out there that think this pause bullshit. Here's what I have to say to them. I don't care. I don't care, and that's
still don't care.
Still don't care, and that's fine. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I don't feel any kind of feelings of anger toward someone who thinks this is bullshit or thinks anything I do or my actions or how I carry myself is bullshit. That's fine. I take feedback if I need to hear it from the right people.
Yeah.
Because we always got to change and grow and evolve and learn. There's things I look back on about myself that at the time I was like, oh, I was being me. And I cringe and I'm disgusted and I'm like, damn, dude, I thought I was way too this or that, or I was a fucking cocky little kid who thought I had it all figured out, or I was try to like put others down, or thought I could carry myself around other people like I'm on some hierarchy. Oh, I get disgusted. But I remember hearing that from people, some like people I needed to hear from, or like my older brother or whomever it was.
Yeah.
And also sports, they humbled me. So be authentic, not perfect.
I think this might be the last thing I'll say tonight, sir. And right as you said earlier, a minute or two ago, be who you are because, and then you went off on your thing, instantly came into my mind how I would finish that phrase, and it's be who you are, meaning find who you are and authentically express yourself to yourself and others, and in your art and your, different practices. Do so because you're a snowflake. You are unique, getting metaphorical, and the world needs to see you flourish because you have things to offer others that can't be replicated. Your experiences are unique. The way you approach things is unique. The way you understand, going about whatever your hobbies are. Like, that is unique. And so you're going to get a different impact in every person that does that, but one that is also poignant and influences the world in a positive way.
The world would be in a better place if
Undoubtedly.
Authenticity,
Indubitably,
if authenticity drives people's actions. But again, actions are molded by values, which create instincts, which lead to actions, which leads to how you're perceived. And that is who you are. And is that real, or is that some kind of molding to please others, or some figment of your imagination of what you think you should be? I don't know. But I know this. Hell of an episode. It's episode 9 of the Ace
Sir,
Place.
I'm not done, sir. This is the final thing. Your values are who you are. That's 1,000% right, because your values influence your actions. A quote that comes to mind is,
I got one.
okay.
Thoughts become ideas. Ideas become actions. Actions become habits. Habits become lifestyle. That is who you are.
Yeah, I was going to go with what you do speaks so loudly, I cannot hear what you have to say. Your values dictate your actions, and what you do is who you are. Your values are found in exploration. Like, what gives you that drive? What do you want to get up for? What do you want to work for? What don't you need to summon constant bursts of motivation to work on or practice, etc.? Gotta put that work in on the foundation of who am I, and answering that question. So we've come full circle.
We have.
It's a solid performance.
Solid episode. Way to dig. You dug deep.
34 efficient. I'll go.
You were efficient. You were efficient from the field.
I'll go,
I feel you got to the charity stripe a little bit.
I feel like I was like, what, 13 for 19?
Wow. I was definitely
points.
high volume, but probably had like 48. I was like, I probably had.
You did not almost go for 50.
I think I almost went for 50.
Oh, Lord.
But I chucked, dude. I had had some.
That chicken parm sub that small cheese pizza is getting to his
That's what I'm
head.
saying. That was a tech.
50?
And no, I chucked because I had some redundant statements in there.
Yeah, okay.
But I had some big time shots.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So maybe not 48. Maybe we'll go like 37. How about 39?
We'll give you 9.
Fuck you, Colby College. Hold these plantains. All right.
See, you go off the rails at the end and he pieces. Ladies and gentlemen, peace.